platypus is Mother Nature's reigning weirdo deluxe. If you think you have something weirder, put it in the comments, but I honestly doubt it. I did talk about them once in an old Things I Learned on TikTok video, but they deserve their own because what is going on? Before you even get to the really weird stuff, visually it's just mess. First of all, this looks entirely fake. This looks like a groundhog that's in witness protection. And the first time they saw these, they thought that this was a hoax. In 1799, George Shaw received a strange skin in the mail. It was so unusual, he thought it was literally a prank. Anyway, we start, and this is giving duck, right? Wrong. It's not a beak. A beak is hard. It's covered in keratin. Theirs is like rubbery, and they basically use it as a hunting tool, kind of like a shark. The body is giving mammal, which yes, but also weird. Mammals have to feed their young with milk, have fur, and then have some ear bones. I don't even know what that's about. And they do feed their babies milk, but they do not have nipples. They just sweat it out. It just pools. So there's just like an indistinct milk puddle. Also, because it's delivered in an unsanitary way, it's incredibly antibacterial. So they're studying it to see if we can use it for drug-resistant bacteria. Oh, also they lay eggs, which of course they do. Their legs are situated like a reptile, so they're out to the side rather than under their body. And the feet are webbed, again, like a duck, but like a nightmare duck. And as a bonus, the boys have a venomous spur, which this appears to need cleansing. The venom isn't deadly to us, but it produces excruciating pain, perfect, that can persist for months, and it's resistant to morphine. Also, I increased my vocabulary because I learned that if you get poisoned by biting or stinging, you're envenomated. Envomate. Poisoned by biting or stinging. Who knew? Anyway, people who have been envenomated basically said it's absolutely miserable. Also, there's something about their venom and diabetes, but I need an actual scientist because I don't understand what's going on. Then we get to their tail, at which point you're like, beaver. Wrong again. Because a beaver tail is scaly, platypus tail is fur, and a beaver uses it like a rudder to swim. The tail of the platypus, they just are storing fat in it. Anyway, back to their weird fake shark beak. They do not have teeth. They're born with teeth. They're born with some premolars and I think molars. The babies have these, but the adults do like in Uno reverse, and they lose their teeth, and then they develop these weird, I don't actually like these, I don't care for this at all, keratin pads that they mash their food with. They also have these weird like reverse spikes on their tongue. Everything is weird. Everything is weird. Anyway, they use their weird freaky bill. It has electroreceptors, so that's how they hunt. When they're underwater, which they cannot breathe under there, which always freaks me out, they seal their eyes and ears and their nostrils, and they're just all bill hunting. And then when they catch something, they have no functional stomach. They have a pouch that is stomach adjacent, but it's not a functional stomach with stomach acid. It's just like a pouch. Also, honestly, controversy over whether or not they use pebbles to help them chew their food. So if you're a platypus expert, please weigh in. On the upside, a baby platypus is called a puggle, which I like a lot, but also they cannot swim, which honestly seems ill-advised. They just lay in a weird milk puddle for like a while before they can actually get into the water and swim. And it's at that point that they lose all of their teeth naturally. 3 or 4 months, they just lose their teeth. They never grow more, and then they can enter the water. Also, I found this image of a platypus skeleton, and I am so deeply uncomfortable by the split in the bill. I don't like that. I don't like that or that, honestly. Also, they glow under UV light, which evidently a good number of animals do. This one can go directly to jail. That's very spooky, but somehow less spooky than this one. Why do they do that? We don't know. Unsure. And my apologies to the platypus for sharing this private information, but they have a very upsetting looking reproductive organ covered in visible spines, so holding on to their mate. No. Surely not. But on the upside, the baby puggles are very cute, and they kind of look like a Shar-Pei in a duck costume, so they have that going for them.